Come into the kitchen with me. We'll cook up something yummy, savory, spicy, or sweet, to satisfy your tummy each and every week. It's Wednesday, and that means it's time for In the Kitchen with Miss Paula Harmonica Mama, and it's gonna be yummy. Hello, and welcome to another edition of In the Kitchen with Miss Paula Harmonica Mama. And today we're going to be making coconut cream pie. My brother and sister-in-law are coming over for dinner tonight, and my brother-in-law really likes coconut cream pie, and he was very disappointed that I didn't have it at Thanksgiving dinner. So we're going to have one tonight. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is make our pie crust. And I'm going to pause you for a second because I need to get one more thing out of my cabinet. Okay, so what we're first going to need is flour, and I have 2.5 cups in here. I want to tell you that I am, excuse me, using my Joy of Cooking cookbook, the recipe that's in here. I've made it a couple of times and I really like it, but I don't make this often enough to have this recipe memorized. So this is one of my favorite cookbooks. A friend of mine gave it to me about 6 years ago. I had a copy of it when Bob and I first got married, and somewhere between all our moves, it disappeared. So here we go. Pie crust. All right. And I also need, whoops, another thing I forgot, is I need a little bit of salt and sugar. Okay. So it suggests using a teaspoon of sugar for sweet pies. So here's my teaspoon of sugar. Just a spoonful of sugar helps a medicine go down in this delightful way. And then I also need half a teaspoon. Here's my teaspoon. This is my half teaspoon. And a half teaspoon of salt. All right. So let's just get that stirred up there a little bit. My hair is flying away like crazy today. Okay. Got the dryer going, I got my washer going, trying to get things done around here. So to this, I am going to add 2 sticks of chopped up unsalted butter. I still need to chop it up. And you want your butter to be cold. It just works better that way. So I'm going to just chop this up in chunks and we'll just get it all mixed together here. So this whole coconut pie stuff started when Bernie's brother that lives in Mississippi came up for a visit last June. It was his stepmom's 90th birthday and his dad's 89. And he said, Randy really likes coconut pie, cream pie, and so does my dad. Will you make a couple of pies for us to take with us to the birthday party? So I did. And it was very well received. Now, at the Tiller family reunion in August, and you've seen footage of that, there is an auction to offset the cost of buying the chicken and potatoes and paper goods and paying the rent on the little picnic area. So folks in the family do all different kinds of crafts and stuff to donate for the auction. And at that birthday party, they suggested that I make pies to auction off. So I did. And that was kind of fun. I don't remember what they went for, but they went for a pretty good price. Way more than the materials and time I had in them. All right, now, what I want to do is I want to mix up the butter. So let me get you over here just a tad bit closer. In the flour. And because I don't want to take all my rings off, and I don't want to get flour and butter under my nails, I'm going to wear my gloves. And I'm just going to squish it around like this until it sort of looks like cornmeal or something. But you just want to, this is actually called cutting in the flour, or the butter in the flour. Back in the day, people used to use a little pastry cutter. I don't have one anymore. I had one, but it just it got used to death and squished up in the equipment drawer and stuff, so it's not any good anymore. You can also do this in a food processor, but I do not own a food processor. I've never really wanted one. They look awfully complicated. Kind of like more effort to put them together and take them apart and clean them than whatever time they may save you. And I've never really had enough kitchen storage space for extra equipment like that. So we'll just keep breaking this up and getting the butter in the flour mixed up. Now, since this is a cream pie and it's just a one crust pie, I am going to need to pre-bake this pie shell. So I have my oven preheated at 375. And you can see how it's kind of changing look here. We'll just continue doing this. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pause you for a little while I get this done, because it takes a few minutes and you need to sit there and watch me do this for 5 minutes. So I will be back shortly. Okay, so I switched to a bigger bowl because I just needed more room to get this done. So I'm ready to add the water. You can see how I've got some bigger pieces, you know, that's kind of flattened. There we go. All right. And you see I'm just kind of squeezing it between my fingers like that to get it going. Okay, so to this, I'm going to add 6 tablespoons, right? Whoops. Sometimes I don't pay attention to what I'm doing. Okay, it needs just a splash of vinegar in there. Well, actually it needs a tablespoon. Okay. And that just helps it set up a little bit. And you can use white vinegar too. All right. So we're going to put 6 tablespoons of water in here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and I'm going to use my little, that's my Christmas one, spatula here to kind of mix them up. This makes a really nice flaky pie crust. And I kind of want this all to get together to form a ball. Now this is enough to make 2 9 or 10-inch pie crust, but I only need one. But I can put this, I can split it and put the other one in the refrigerator for about 3 days. I think I even freeze it. And then maybe I'll just make another pie. Okay, see how that's kind of coming together like this? Now this would, and this is just a tad bit dry and crumbly, so I'm going to just sneak in, because you can add up to 3 more tablespoons. I'm going to sneak in an extra tablespoon of water. And you don't want to get it too wet, because if you do that, then your pie crust will be tough. And it took me a long time to learn how to make a pie crust that wasn't all tough. Hang on a second. Okay, I have my pie dough in my pie shell now, and I rolled it out to about 2-3 inches beyond what my pie plate is. And I'm telling you about it because I thought I hit record again and I didn't. So I apologize for that. Okay, now I think I'm going to go through here and I'm going to flute this a little bit. I have to admit, my favorite part of a pie is the crust. Just kind of cut through the handle there. All right. So now I need to run and get a fork. I'll be right back with you. All right. So we're going to use the this side of the fork to pull off the extra pie crust, so it's not hanging over the edge here. Concentrating on what I'm doing here. Okay. There we go. All right, so I'm going to move this out of the way here. A little bit overhang there. And I think I'm going to cheat here. That's not looking too pretty right there, so I'm going to add a couple of pinches more. Here we go. All right. So here's our raw pie dough. Whoops, I need to get that off there. Okay, now what I want to do next is I want to poke holes. Let me turn this down just a little bit more. See, I'm poking some holes in here. Whoops. And that also helps to keep it from bubbling up. Bunch of holes, bunch of holes, bunch of holes. So it looks like that. I don't even think you can still see it real good, but you can see that there's holes in there. Alrighty, here we go. Now I'm going to do a few more. And then I'm going to get out a piece of parchment paper here. Lay the parchment paper in the pie crust. And to that, I'm going to add my pie weights. Now, my pie weights are actually some dried beans and rice. You can actually purchase pie weights. I read where one person uses sugar and then reuses the sugar. I tried that and I don't know, it didn't seem like it worked very well for me using the sugar again. So I am going to dump this in the pie shell. And this also helps it from popping up. So here's what we got going here. All right, so I'm gonna stick this in a 375 degree oven, and I'm gonna double check here to see. Oh, I've got, oops, excuse me. Okay, how long I'm gonna leave it in there, but I believe it's like for about 30 minutes. So I will see you in 30 minutes. Okay, so I just took the pie shell out of the oven. So this is what we've got it looking like now. Okay, what I'm going to need to do now though is take our pie weights out. And I'll leave them in this little container till they cool off, and then I'll put them back in the plastic bag. Okay. So, what I need to do now is I'm going to crack an egg in here. Stir it up a little bit. Alexa, stop timer. It got done a little bit quicker. And that happens quite often with my oven. But it just smelled done and the edges are nice and brown, so. I'm going to brush some of this egg wash and put a little bit of water in it. All right. Okay. Now I hope this works okay because I forgot to do one thing. I forgot to let this pie crust chill and set before I put it in the oven. All right, so I have that egg wash in there. And that will also help keep the bottom from getting soggy. Okay. So that's what it's looking like now. And I am going to put it back in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes until the bottom gets nice and light brown. So we'll see you in just a little bit. All right. Whoops, here we go. So here it is, nicely browned. It smells good too. Okay. See you later in this, I trust you'll tune back in to see how I fill up the crust. See you in a little bit.